How's it going, everybody? I'm Ash, a D-Class hero.
I'm Card Dreamer, your other D-Class citizen. Yes, citizen.
Really?
Yeah.
You should give yourself a better title to feel important. Oh, wait. Never mind.
I have a title to feel important. It just doesn't work on YouTube
And why is that?
because I'll get banned.
Fair enough. So, to let you guys know, this is a review for Beyond Eyes.
Yes. So, for those who don't know, and spoiler alert,
Because there's always that one guy who complains about spoilers. Well, there you go.
yes, you will be spoiled. We're going to divide this into different sections, and we'll start off with what Beyond Eyes is. It is an indie title.
You can tell we love our indies.
Yes.
We really do.
Basking in this golden age.
By the way, guys, do check out our Golden Age at Indies video, if you get the chance.
Yes.
And you'll see what we mean by the Golden Age.
But this is an indie title in which the story is very simple. You play as a young girl who loses her sight.
In a tragic firework accident.
I hear the song Blinded by the Light in my head right now.
There is a special place in that fiery place for us.
Yes. But anyway, but she's blinded and becomes, I don't want to say outcasted, but she
Isolated.
becomes isolated. We're not sure why, but she makes a friend.
Cat.
And she goes. One day, the cat stops showing up, and so she goes on a journey to figure out what happened to her friend. And it's a very intriguing journey. It's a very touching journey. There is no narrative. There's very little story. There's very little written text. There are some here and there.
This game is more or less an experience through this child's... I don't know how to put this in a nice way.
This is as close as you're going to get to walking in another person's shoes.
Who can't see, essentially. And it's done in a beautiful way. Don't think of this as a negative. It's really just a beautiful experience. The narrative that you do get in the story is all written in between loading screens for different sections of the game. And it paints a picture of what the character is feeling, what she's looking for, and stuff like that.
So, basically, everything... It's hard to break this really down into sections because everything ties in with everything. The developers managed to find a way where, sure, everything, you can like the art, you can like the game mechanics, you can like the music.
The music is one of my favorite parts, to be honest.
It is great, but it all goes together for a greater picture. And a lot of games, while they have all these good elements, don't tie together to form a single picture per se, as well as this does.
Which is ironic, I must say, because the character is blind, and you are essentially making a portrait as you transverse this blank canvas of the world.
That is a very good way to put it. So, having said all that and explaining a brief part, then we'll get into... Let's get into the visuals first off, because I feel like that'll be the easiest thing to start with.
It is probably one of the best parts of the game.
It is. It's done in a very pastel watercolor style.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just absolutely gorgeous. To be fair, this is what made me want to play the game, is just seeing the imagery for this game.
I have seen this game via trailers, via friend suggestion. It wasn't until CD was like, sit down, play this game, you're gonna like it, and forced me to play it. And I'm very thankful he did, because it truly is a game up my alley. I'm the very artsy type. I make all the artwork for our channel. I paint, I make costuming, I do all this artsy stuff. And this is a game made for a person like me. If you're a fan of famous artists such as Monet, Van Gogh, painting of that type, you're going to like this game. Because the artwork and how the world unfolds and paints itself before you is very reminiscent of those artists.
I think that's very well put. And, you know, art, we're not just talking about the visuals. Art is its execution and the way it unfolds is in and of itself is so artistically done, in which it really is like a blank canvas, and you're seeing as you approach boundaries in the game, you see it kind of unveil before you.
It paints itself into existence.
It really does, very literally, and it's just beautiful. Even when it gets dark, and
it reflects that.
It does, but it still maintains an interesting watercolor tone.
Mm-hmm. For example, I like bringing this up, is the dog.
Yes, the dog.
So, throughout the game, you'll see multiple dogs, a owner and walking his dog, or her dog, or whoever they are. And every time our main character approaches one of these creatures, they bark. Very loudly. She gets frightened. And with that, a musical tone change occurs, along with a visual change that goes with it. The colors that go from a very light pastel color go very dark, purple, and kind of dreary in tone. To me, it's a fantastic way to express fear. And you could say this is all a metaphor for the main character overcoming the fear of being isolated to pursue a friend.
I can't... There's nothing more I can add to that. That is very true. So, having said that, you go to, if you move on, like the music is in and of itself is another art aspect, and it goes with the visuals so well. For as bright and vibrant and yet soft and easy as the watercolors are, the music reflects the same tone in audio form. It is whenever she gets scared, the music takes on that subtle, scared, dark tone. The music is every bit as gorgeous, soft, and revealing as the art is itself.
I would say the devil's in the details on this, to be honest, because it's going to be the little things here or there that you take notice, that you appreciate even more so. Like, one of my favorite things is when you get to the pier with all the rain.
That has got to be visually the most
powerful, in my opinion, because, and I'm sorry to cut you off, it's mainly because the character hears, feels, to move around, and everything that you've gone past is still behind you. When you get to the pier, it's raining. It drowns out everything else. Unless something is extremely loud, she's not going to pick it up. She's not going to be able to see it. Everywhere you walk, the rain washes away where you've been. It's arguably the most blind section of the game.
This is true, and that leaves you feeling probably the most intense moment of the game. It's definitely the most, I don't know if excitement's the right word, but
insecure?
Kind of. I mean, because it's everything's happening at once. You have all this noise hitting you, and you don't know where it's come from. You got the wind. You got all these sensations that are coming at you at your other senses, but the one you need the most you don't have from her point of view. So it really sets up this intense kind of panicky mode almost. It gives you a panicky feeling. You
distress.
Don't act it. Yes, distress.
That's the word.
D class.
Oh yeah.
Teaching you all the words that begin with D.
I love the fact that we make fun of our own name. It's one of the best things about this channel.
It really is.
moving on. I like how the world unfolds. Whenever not everything is as it appears to be in this world. Let me lean into that. Because, and major spoilers here. I'm not going to go to the end, but I'm going to go back to the pier. The pier, you hear squeaking. The character perceives it as a swing. Now, when you get to it, it is a rusted old Ferris wheel.
Yes. Same with, actually you can go further back in the game and where she hears the trickling of water and thinks it's a stream, and it turns out to be a storm grate.
Mm-hmm.
It's these little things that it's interesting. It gives you one, and this is leading into game mechanics aspect of of our review, and it gives you. Not only does it show you what the environment ultimately is as she's traversing, but it gives you insight into her mentality, how she perceives the world. These colors are not just meant to be pleasing for a gamer. This is a reflection of her view of the world. In spite of her accident, it is still a bright, vibrant world for her. It is full of beauty. It is full of intrigue.
Color,
yeah,
joy.
And color, and what she thinks she's hearing is what she wants to see. She wants to see these beautiful little streams and brooks and such, and she carries that with her up until the moment she discovers the truth.
And speaking of the truth, we're going to go a little bit into the trophies at this point. And I think this is a good segue into that.
Yes.
One of the trophies in the game is called the Truth.
Yes.
And for that, you have to... What was it again?
Discover everything's true identity.
And by that, going back to the Storm Dream, the Ferris wheel, are two examples of find out what they really are. Find all of them in the game, and you unlock this trophy. But there are more than just those two examples that we brought up. We're not going to reveal everything just for the sake that we want you guys to play it. Because I feel, personally, while this game may not be for everyone, I feel like it's definitely worth a play at least once.
I agree. And the reason we're mentioning achievements, because, yes, while I may be an achievement I'm an achievement whore.
Yep.
No question about it.
You don't hear me arguing.
Ash, on the other hand, he's more of a casual gamer. He's not a trophy hunter.
I will go for trophies if I really, really enjoy the game. And quite honestly, there are very few games that I've enjoyed to the point where I will go out of my way to get all the trophies.
And that's fine. Fair enough. But we all know that developers take different angles when it comes to achievements and trophies.
Exactly.
Some use them as just cheap and easy ways. They're cheap and easy to get, an easy platinum or an easy 1,000 depending on your platform. Is an easy way to get sales for your games, because they know those achievement whores are out there and they're just going to buy the game to get that quick, easy gamer score.
Sesame Street.
F and U are the two letters brought to you today by that game.
But going back to that, this game has a very small handful of trophies, actually.
It is. And to be fair, they are easy to get, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was meant to get your money. The game in and of itself really isn't long.
I would say these trophies are put in there for the fact that going after them is just going to enhance your experience for this game.
It is, and this is one of the few games you can say that about. Whereas, like we said, some put them in there for the cheap and easy. There are the flip side extremists to that, where games put in these trophies that are strictly meant for you to grind your life away, and they drain all the fun out of getting the achievement.
Hyperlight Drifter, the Dash Chain achievement. I hate it.
Gears of War 3, Insane 3.0.
Yep. We have our gripes.
Yes.
But that's for a different video.
So, but every achievement if you were to follow this, it is going to give you... It really gives you the truest story for this game.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't multiple endings to the game, but for you personally to experience it, to invest yourself...
It's satisfying.
Well, that too, but I mean, really feel like you're not going to get the full extent of this girl's character unless you do everything on this list. You're not going to fully understand how this character thinks. For instance, one's called Courage. Feed the cow by hand. She doesn't know it's a cow, or she doesn't quite get what's around her until you go to do it. You have to demonstrate courage and approach this and be a caring person, a gentle person to something you don't know. You're having faith in what it is.
Yep.
That's courage.
Bravery. Overcome your fear of the dog. That, I feel, is a very powerful one.
Oh, that definitely is, because that dog's growling at you. Son of a bee.
Like, a normal person would be very intimidated by a dog growling at them. This is a young child who is blind, overcoming her fear of a dog that's growling, barking at her, and she does so.
If you
go out your way to get it.
Yes, exactly. And if you demonstrate bravery and courage, then, I mean, it just works. Everything,
a lot of these trophies, their titles for these trophies are very simplistic in what they are, but the words they use are very powerful in and of themselves. One of the trophies is called Lonely, and you have to sit on a swing by yourself, thus exemplifying how it feels to be blind and on your own. I mean, these things are powerful here. This is just made to give you a better understanding of what's going on with this character, this world, how she feels and how she perceives things.
I have to say one of my favorites is Persistence, though, where it's get a chicken across the bridge. I mean, because it's not enough to cross the road anymore. It's got to cross a freaking bridge.
Oh, yeah.
But you're still... It's interesting that this blind girl still... If you follow through, that her character is still to interact with the world. It is still to change the world around her and affect the world around her. These achievements give you insight to something you would miss if you did not do them. So that's why they're worthy of this mention. And going back to art, honestly, the achievements have some of the best, have just beautiful little clips of art for the game.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. When I did my initial playthrough of this game, I went from point A to point B, from start to end game. I did not pursue all of these trophies simply because I could have easily done it. There's no arguing that. But it was meant to be a quick Let's Play. And the reason I didn't do it is so I can get you guys to go out, get this game, play it for yourselves, and experience it. I've actually bought this game at home for myself, and I'm now exploring it for the trophies.
Fair enough.
Simply because I feel like when it comes to a Let's Play, unless you're doing like a completionist run, like the completionist, it's not necessary to show everything.
No, I think that's fair, because it's kind of one of those things you don't want... You don't want to be one of those where you spoil every little thing and there's no need for the viewer to play it themselves.
Exactly.
No, I totally agree.
Because part of the big thing with this channel is we want to grow as a community of gamers, artists, geeks, nerds, whatever. Dorks.
Yeah.
D. But the point is, part of that is letting you guys bring your own experiences to us so we can talk. And that's one thing I do enjoy. Now, here's another transition, and I would kind of like to see this personally. I would like to see a sequel to this game. And you want to know how? I want to see it from an adult's perspective. Not with the joyful, wondrous world that a child would perceive, but from a realistic, cold perspective of an adult. Be an interesting contrast.
I feel like it would just be like watching one of those antidepressant commercials.
You don't know that. You never know. I feel like it'd be an interesting thing to dabble with.
It would, but I think
But even if this game is a standalone, it's still phenomenal.
it really is, and I think we've covered the basics from how the gameplay works, and really we should just to end it with a summation of how we feel about it. And I can tell you personally, I think it's an amazing experience. I can't say it's an amazing game because it's not a game. It like Ash has said, is an experience, and it's one that if you have time, if you have patience, if you can take a moment to step back from your first-person shooters, your fighters, and all these other fast-paced games, and take a moment to just relax and just immerse yourself into this experience, you will have a blast.
From my perspective, I would say this. If you're the artistic person, the art student, the person who appreciates someone's work, this is a game for you. There is so much little details, little cues, musically, artistically, design-wise for the world, that you will just fall in love with. The game at max is 3 hours, you would say?
At max, doing all the achievements / trophies and taking your time to do it is about 3 hours.
It's easy 3 sit-downs if you play for an hour. It's not that hard. It's definitely... I would say it's like it's like an adventure movie. But no action, but more of experiencing what it is to be in someone else's shoes for a mile. Or several miles in this case. We really don't know how far this kid goes.
It's true.
So with that, if I had to give this game a rating, I would say a solid 9.
Okay, we're going on the 9 out of 10.
Yep.
I would have said 8 or 9 out of 10 easily.
The reason I say 9 is because there's one thing I wish they put in there that they didn't. And that's after the game, after you beat it, they show you your trail of where you've gone. And having completed the entire map would be a picture you can have for your profile. I would have loved that, but it's not a big deal. That's just my personal opinion.
That would have been neat. I never thought about that. I give it an 8 or 9 only because it's not going to be an experience for everybody. It's not an active and really involved physically game as far as needing your controller. Like, you're not going to be button mashing. But for those who can appreciate what it is, you will
fall in love.
You will get more than your money's worth out of this game.
It's an experience, if nothing else.
No,
so, and going back to how you said it's not a game for everyone, a good example is one of our co-hosts who comes on every so often, Little CD, because he said this game was too slow-paced for him, and that's fair. I just felt like that was important to bring up because it shows that it is not for everyone, but for those who do like it, they're going to get a lot more out of it.
Agreed.
So with that, I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
I'm Master D Class Hero.
I'm Card Dreamer.
We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and tell us, has this game caught your interest? Are there any other artistic games you would recommend?
That's a good question. I'd like to know if there's other games like this out there.
All right. See ya.
See ya.